Today we have American Idol top 24 finalist, Hannah Everhart. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing good myself. We've been keeping up with your American Idol journey. You went through some crazy, amazing experiences on that show. How's life been since doing all that fun stuff on Idol?
It's been definitely a eye opener, and there's been so many opportunities come from it, and so I'm grateful for that. I've just been, taking it easy, but staying on top of things at the same time and continuing to do music, and it's turning out wonderful for me. So I'm grateful for that.
So let's talk a little bit about your Idol journey. Can you tell us maybe what led you to audition for Idol and what led you to choose Johnny Cash to cover for your audition?
Um, it was kind of a spontaneous thing. I had a friend just message me out the blue and say, "Hey, they're going to be in Mississippi auditioning." And so I just signed up because I was like, well, that's convenient because normally they're way off in a different place.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I signed up and then it was a Zoom call. And so I was like, well, that's even more convenient. And yeah, so I did it and they all like said yes. And then they were 3 weeks later, they messaged me and were like, hey, you're going to California. And so yeah, so the Wayfaring Strangers song, me and my dad have always sung that in the living room. I know it's the Johnny Cash song, but I always liked the rendition that Trace Atkins did to it.
Mhm.
And so it was just an easy, safe choice for me to pick, and so that's what I did. And
Cool. So did you, a girl from the small town in Mississippi, ever think that you would one day be on national television in front of millions of people, not only in front of millions of people on TV, but also, in front of some major superstar artists that just like praised your vocals and your attitude and your personality? They just loved it. Did you ever think you would be in front of those people?
no, I didn't. I didn't even see music as a dream for reality. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Yeah.
never thought that I'd do American Idol or anything like that. And why I've never really done music in general and had any experience because I just never saw it as a dream, like a reality.
Mhm.
But doing it, I've always thought that I was destined for big things, whether that's being a neurological surgeon or being in the Marines doing combat engineering, but music is what God had planned for me. And so that's what I do now, and it's something that I've grown a strong passion for the more that I did American Idol. And I'm just glad that other people believed in me as well.
Yeah, most of America, they voted you into the top 24, right?
Yeah.
So, during your time on Idol, the judges just bragged over you several times. A Grammy Award winner, Lionel Richie, they said he told you your voice is a gold mine, and Katy Perry and Luke Bryan both loved your tone, your personality. Like, what did it feel like receiving such high compliments from people of that status?
Honestly, like when I left out of that room, I couldn't tell you what they said to me until I saw it back on TV because that's how surreal it was. It was just, I don't know, it's like you black out almost when you're in that type of situation. But it was, I was sitting there, I was fixing to cry because I was like, I don't know if he's getting on to me or if he's being nice, but it was just, I don't know, I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done.
Did you get any advice from them, maybe off camera, that'll maybe like take you into the future that you could think of?
No, not off camera, really. Everything they pretty much saw was on. Now, I did sing a duet with Luke Bryan in the audition room. I sung Grandpa by the Judds, but
Oh, that's
they
pretty
didn't put
awesome.
that on TV. So
Yeah,
yeah, that was great. I was like, dang, I got to sing with two of them.
I know.
But
Katy Perry, you and her sang Etta James together on there too. That's pretty amazing.
yeah, that was crazy.
Even on the show, you were labeled as like a Katy Perry lookalike, which I know you said you get pretty often. That must be pretty flattering to have Katy Perry, herself tell you like, "Are you the country version of me?"
Yeah, I do, and I did love it a lot. It's just that now everywhere I go, it's like you look like Katy Perry. Well, why can't I look like Hannah Everhart? You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And now your voice will set you apart from all the rest because you have definitely a unique tone that not many people have out there. And once you start releasing all this music coming, then people will definitely be making, "Are you Hannah Everhart?" And
Yeah.
so aside from singing, in front of those superstar judges, you also performed with one. I mean, Jason Aldean. What was it like performing a duet with him? And did you receive any maybe advice from Jason while you were on the show?
That was probably one of my favorites because I mean, it's like it felt so electric when I was on stage. Like I never felt that comfortable on stage. It was like that's when I knew that that's what I wanted to do. You know, like I wanted to be a big performer, you know, and just showcase my voice and just have that feeling again and again. And you know, Jason was so meek and mild off stage, but it's like when he got on stage, it was just he came out of his shell and
Yeah.
he was just a really cool and awesome dude. And he gave me a lot of great advice that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, he's definitely a superstar when it comes to performing. His shows are just out of this world, incredible.
Yeah.
So have you kept in touch maybe with any of your other Idol contestants while you're on the show? I saw you were actually just hanging out with Chase Beckham, the winner, and also Caleb Kennedy. Like, have you guys maybe written any music together? I seen you guys were jamming and playing some shows in Nashville, it looked like.
Well, we were doing like what I call back porch picking. It's just where you sit in a little circle, you know, whatever, and just sing a few songs. And so that's what we did. And we if we would have had more time, I'm sure we would have wrote some songs together, but we just, you know, everybody's life is so busy now.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just glad we still get moments to catch up like that.
So do you have any plans to make the move to Nashville?
I see it in my future for sure. It's just as of now, I like where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Are you in Mississippi still or Alabama?
I am.
Mississippi. Cool. So aside from the contestants, have you maybe been in touch with like Katie, Luke, or Lionel since the show?
No, I wish I was. You know, I tried DMing them, but they don't DM me back. So
Yeah. I mean, it must be a definite crazy mess of DMs in their inbox. I couldn't even imagine being one of them.
for sure.
So just for our readers to kind of get to know you a little bit better, could you tell us a little bit about how maybe you got into music? Was this something that I understand you come from like a pretty musically inclined family?
So ever since I was like little, I just remember, you know, when my granny, who's passed away now, when she would get the whole family together when we lived in Alabama for a little while, you know, it was, you know, backyard karaoke, and I'd be singing a Taylor Swift song, even though I sounded like crap, but I'd be screaming it from the top of my lungs. And, you know, ever since then, I just love singing. So I've always sung in the shower, sung in the living room, sung walking through the house. And then my mama, she grew up singing in church with her two sisters.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my dad, he, you know, has went to Nashville and chased that career and just different things, but God didn't see that was his plan. And so I say I kind of live out his dream and mine for him. And
Pretty amazing.
so, yeah.
So, like, what would you say inspired you to maybe get into music aside from your family? Like, is this something you've always definitely dreamed of, or is this something that you were just like, wow, everyone thinks I have this incredible voice, and now I kind of believe in myself to keep going with this?
Pretty much what you said the second time. You know, like I said, I never saw it as a dream, so I never really pushed to do music. But when I got out there and I did it, you know, it's every round that I would make it through, it's like this passion, the new passion would come out for it. And, you know, I was like, this is what I want to do. And, you know, confidence came with it too. And so the more confident I got in myself and the more I believed in myself, the better.
Yeah. I mean, I seen that after you and Claudia Conway with your duet together on the show, after like what could be just like some, I guess, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of drama beforehand, and then you guys kind of came through it, became good friends, and did a killer duet that ultimately brought you into the finales of the Idol shows. Have you guys been in touch at all after the show?
No, actually, we haven't. I've tried several times to reach out to her, but she doesn't respond to me. So
You're a crazy busy person on TikTok now, right?
oh yeah, but it, you know, all that drama just it was never drama. They just had told me to go eat, and so I went and ate, and then they came over there and
I made a story for the show.
Oh, they did. They used me to make a story for the show. All that.
So
That's reality TV for you.
definitely. So who would you say are like some of your biggest musical influences or inspirations that you look up to?
Definitely Sam Cooke, Bonnie Ray, Aretha Franklin, Otis Redding, the Judds, Johnny Cash, uh, Merle Haggard, George Jones, Reba McEntire, just several of the good ones. Alan Jackson, George Strait.
Definitely some good ones in there. I mean, and not only good ones, but like iconic ones that you can definitely hear some influence in your vocal range. And on the topic of all those people who inspire you, I know you're gearing up to release an EP of cover songs in the coming weeks. Could you maybe tell us a little bit what inspired you to do so?
I kind of wanted to do this so I could show people, because there were a few pitch issues on Idol,
Mhm.
but keep in mind it is very hard to sing on national TV.
Not to mention if
Um,
some superstar judges that are like staring at you.
but I wanted to show people, like, hey, like this is my voice, like it's gotten better, and I wanted to show people too, like this is who I am. If I could choose songs to show, even though there's so many I could choose,
Yeah.
these are a few songs that represent who I am and who I want to be as an artist, and I did it with video too, so that people can, just see more of me since Idol, not just doing local shows, but actually getting in the studio and doing something. So,
Yeah, I mean, and we've heard some of those covers and they are just like crazy. I mean, your cover of Miranda Lambert is just like, whoa. That's definitely a really good showcase for your vocals. And I mean, it's just like when people hear that song, they're gonna be blown away.
well,
How would you
thank you.
like, how did you choose to what songs to put on this EP? I know you mentioned like Aretha and so were big inspirations on you. I know she's appearing on there, and I mean you covered two Chris Stapleton songs, but you've covered some of those on American Idol as well. And then that
Yes,
Miranda
Chris
song.
Stapleton is another one of my idols. I forgot to mention that, but that's current Idol because the other ones are all oldie goodies. But Chris Stapleton's really the only modern day
Yeah, yeah.
person I listen.
So you don't really listen to the whole like mainstream country
Oh,
music. You like more of the old school country stuff. I mean, do you have any like aspirations to maybe one day even perform on the Grand Ole Opry like most of those people have, like you?
oh, of course.
That's like the ultimate pinnacle of country music right there. I mean, moving to
I,
Nashville, playing the Opry, it's just like, wow, this is pretty definitely where the country music hub of the world. Um,
exactly.
but how did you go about choosing like those couple of songs for the EP? Like, was it hard to pick just, I think it's 8 songs on the EP?
It's like 8, 9, something like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was really hard. I was just going through my playlists. I was like, what can I choose? Because there's so many,
Yeah.
and so I just said, any, mini, money, mo, pick you, and so that just worked out. And because there were so many by Aretha that I could have chose, and there were so many by Chris Stapleton I could have chose, but I just chose what you know worked, and
Yeah.
so
I mean, would you say Miranda has been like an influence on you as well? I know that, I mean, she's definitely one of those females in country music that is just like sassy, the attitude, the personality. I mean, some of her seems like it's inspired you a little bit.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I grew up listening to some of her music, but I do love the way that she carries herself and the way that she performs as well. It's
Definitely.
really
You guys
she's
definitely need to get on a track together. I mean, your voices would just blend so crazy. I mean, that would be like iconic.
yeah, that would be great.
So, I mean, you worked with Clark Beckham, who previously was on American Idol as well with the upcoming EP. He produced it and also made some like created the content video wise for you. Like, what was the work like working with him? I know that he's been covering American Idol. He covered your journey and everyone else's on American Idol throughout his YouTube channel during the entire course of Idol. Like, what would you say I was like working with him?
Clark is a very great Christian guy. Like if you want a nice guy to work with, that is Clark. And
Yeah,
so I'm just glad that I got to meet him, and that he was the person who helped me with this because I wouldn't have wanted anyone else, like truly. And he is a musical genius, and we both kind of put our heads together, and I'm not going to take any of the credit really, because he came up with all of the renditions pretty much. I mean, Simple Man, everything except the just the two of us spin was I had been singing it like that, at different shows. I just came up with that going higher on the chorus thing.
Yeah.
But as far as the whole just the two of us on the verses, like the guitar melody, and then at the end doing it, that's all him. But it's really great. I love what he helped me come up with and how he helped me showcase my voice. So
Yeah, I mean, and I really like how the videos are just like in the moment. They're not like crazily overproduced or anything. It's like in the moment, raw, kind of like Miranda's Marfa Tapes record that just came out. That was just like, you can hear the cows mooing in the background. I mean, obviously you guys were in a studio, so you didn't hear that, but I just love how it's just like raw, stripped back, minimal production, and just really puts your vocals on full display.
yeah, and I like that better. We did live recording with the instruments too, which
yeah.
I know nowadays everybody's, like fake guitar, fake drums. That's never going to be me. I don't care who's producing my records. I mean, if you don't like it, then cool. See you later. Yep. But I love live recording because there's nothing like being in sync with that instrument in person, and just getting to really feel that the vibrations from the guitar, feeling the thud from the drums. Like it's just, there's nothing like that, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Definitely. So, I mean, aside from your upcoming covers EP, have you been maybe working on any new original music?
I've been trying to write a few songs. It's just hard because I don't play an instrument. I know some people can do it, but I think that I'm just one of those people who can't.
Yeah.
I've wrote poems since about 6th grade, and they've made people cry, and they're wonderful. But I mean, it's just a whole different ball game for me for songs. But I will get there. I'm trying.
100%. I mean, just go out back to Nashville and meet out with some of your idol buddies and have them play guitar for you and
exactly
some of the songs. So what else is coming up for you? I mean, you got some shows under your belt already, and you're gearing up for some more and some festival appearances.
Yeah, I've got the Bigfoot Festival in Natchez. I've got I may be opening up for Luke Bryan in August.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, but not putting that into stone or getting my hopes up until that actually happens.
Just putting it out there.
Just putting it out there. Yeah, so there's that, and I have one in September, and just different ones, but big festivals that are coming into play. But I'm just, I'm not pushing anything. I'm just letting things kind of open as they come, because I did push myself at first, and then it just became too much, and it overwhelmed me.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense. Just go with the flow, and as it happens, it happens. That's usually when the big things happen.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to sit down with us and chat about all of that you have coming up and your idol journey. It's been great chatting with you, and we look forward to hearing the rest of everything to come from you, and hopefully seeing your live performance someday soon.
Of course. Thank you so much for letting me do it.